This is the Black Tax. There's an African proverb that says, a canoe does not know who the leader is when it turns over, everyone gets wet. As I am building my career, building my skill sets so that I could launch my hybrid type of law practice or business and legal affair practice, I would take jobs, temp jobs, with intellectual property firms from time to time. Pay was good. I think the average I was making was $250 an hour for a 35-hour week and time and a half for any hours thereafter. I was roughly working about 60, 65 hours a week, so my checks were comfortably heavy. And because I love what I do, I am passionate about what I do, I can work and be happy, and I can climb through documents and start connecting dots and put up my own kind of graph of what is important for the issue versus what someone else thinks is important that has nothing to do with the issue at hand. So my ex and I had just bought our house in Fort Greene, and the office or the warehouse I was working out of was under the Brooklyn Bridge. So it was a win-win because I could rollerblade to work, bike to work, or walk to work. And it was a great thing, and I loved it. So I've been here maybe 8 months working, enjoying it, finding all the pieces of the puzzle, connecting dots, connecting case law with the puzzle and the dots, submitting my work every Friday with no problems, no issues. It was 10 of us who worked there. 9 of us were climbing through boxes that were decades old, and it was a Black man who oversaw all of the contract associates. The Black man always socialized with all of the white boys, and they had a relationship, more than just boss to employee, but guys who hung out and played golf and did all that stuff together. I didn't do any of that stuff. I came in, did my time, and left. Somehow, some way, those white boys got into the brother's ear and told him that he was making us look bad. I was making them look bad because they couldn't get the things they needed to help this case. And I was sailing through my portion of the case without a doubt. So the brother comes to me on a Friday and he says, "Hey, I've got some bad news for you." And I was like, "What's wrong?" He says, "Well, you're the last one hired, so you have to be the first one fired. And they're cutting back on the lawyers for the temping here." And I was like, "That's fine, no problem. I'm a temp. I understand the process, but I appreciate the opportunity and thank you for the time." And he's like, "No, I just feel bad." I said, Don't feel bad. It's okay. Not a problem." And I didn't take it for anything other than, I've been through it before. They got to cut back. They got to cut people. I got cut. I was the last one hired, first one fired. Cool. It's the game you play when you temp. The following week, I go up to the firm to pick up my check. And as I'm waiting for payroll to bring my check to me, the partner who was running the litigation asked, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" He says, "What firm did you go to?" And I was like, "What do you mean, what firm did I go to?" He says, "We were told that you quit because you got a permanent position." I was like, "No, I was told that the last one hired, first one fired." He was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, that's what I was told." He was like, "Do you want to come back and finish this project with us?" I was like, "I'd love to, but I don't know because I'm confused." He says, "I can tell you I didn't do that. However, I would rather you work up here in the office and you go down and pick up the things we need because you have a better understanding of what's happening with this case." And I was like, "Sure, I can do that." He was like, "You have to wear a suit and tie up here." And I was like, "That's fine. I don't have a problem with doing that. And, you got to come into the office. You can't work from home. I don't have a problem with that either." So Monday comes around, I'm there all week, I'm going through stuff. I'm like, this is missing, this document is missing, where is this document, where is this? And so I start putting a list together of things that I need for these partners that I'm working with. I get in the town car, I go over to Brooklyn Bridge, I go down to the warehouse. I am a Marnie down, cashmere coat, the whole bit. I walk in and everybody's got the look on their face of, what the hell are you doing here? And I was like, hey guys, I'm going to be working up on 3rd Avenue, and I'll be coming down here every Friday to pick up the things that I'm looking for. Here is the list. Here's the list of items that I need, and these are the boxes that I think they are in. Some of the boxes that are close together, it may not be in box A, it may be in box B, but these are the documents that I need. I need you to take them out of the box, make a copy of them, put them back where they were, label them what box they were and where they are in the box. So all the boxes, all the documents to be color coded, and they need to be itemized. Pick the boxes, I walked out, and I finished the project. Sometimes when you are good at what you do, people notice it. Sometimes people see their inability and will do everything in their power to stop you from shining. My father would say things to me, and as a kid, I didn't really pay attention to them. But as an adult, they all make sense. When my father would say, one monkey don't stop no show. In other words, you're going to shine no matter what you do. And if you let other people dim your light, then you're the one who suffers. No one else does. So I want you to think about how bright you shine. Do you dim your light when you're around other people because they are uncomfortable with your shine? Because if you do that, you are never going to reach the goals you want to reach. Sometimes, and I'm guilty of that myself, sometimes we want somebody to go along with us so we can make it work. This podcast, for example, I didn't want to do it by myself, but here I am doing it by myself. And it's me talking to you, one professional to another one college educated person to another college educated person. And I think I'm better off for it. My shine always is bright, and I don't try to shine brighter than anybody else. I just shine. It is an innate piece of me that comes from my heart, my soul, like it does with most people. Some people will call you a showboat. Some people say you're trying to be better than everybody else. That's them, and that's their insecurity coming out, trying to dim your light. So I want you to take from this, one monkey don't stop no show. You're going to be who you're going to be, and you're going to shine regardless of what anybody thinks. And sometimes you might get a little zealous with how you do things. But understand, even getting zealous in how you do things, the reality is that that's who you are. And people are going to be people. People are always going to people. So you have to decide who you love most, the person you are or the person people want you to become. Stay woke. We out.